Hello, this is Kyle Van Hook, and I'm just going over the work I've done for the heads up assignment for game programming. So, starting off immediately, this is just the very bare bones plan that I had for the UI. So, these little corners, they're not part of the UI. They're basically just show, hey, this is the screen. But for the actual UI, I decided to keep the timer that we already made. I figured it was a good idea, and I could add a little if the timer runs out, there could be a game over function, which I kind of have already implemented. To the lower right, actually, like 50. There you go. Hey, now you can actually see something. So to the lower right here, there's a score. Each of the meteorites has a score attached to them, and you can change what they are. Or at least they have a score value, and you can change what they are. To the left, this was originally going to be a player health bar, but since in the game the player is insta-killed when they run into the meteorite, I figured there's really no point to even have that. So I changed that to being able to count how many enemies or enemy variances, or at least damage zones in this case, there are. So that's the third element. And then for the meteorite health bars, I decided uh, I looked up online and found a tutorial for like how to use the slider component of the UI. So we ended up having a UI component, having a health bar that goes down on hit. Going to the actual reload. Okay, thank you. Which, yeah, reload. I guess now that that's done, let's actually go over the stuff that's changed. And I've had to change some stuff. All right. Uh, I'll have to print that, but that'll be fine. I should be able to show you. So I guess I should start off with the actual health stuff, like the health bar. So to start off, I originally wanted to just add like, or going through a tutorial, wanted to add a slider component to the health component, but that would be an issue because I was not going to add a world display health piece to my player object. So I ended up having to modify the health component. So now the main health component is an abstract class that has all the main classes and the two public two variables. Player health is basically just what was the original health component. It's just been added and moved. Let's just I'll change that later. Apparently something's wrong with my thing. And enemy health component is the enemy health, and it's pretty much the same as the player health. But the one change is that it has a serialized field, being a health bar, and that health bar is another component that we've made somewhere over here. There you are. A health bar that take this is the health bar. This takes the uses the Unity engine.ui. It grabs the slider from the UI in part, and I've made a private slider that can be added. And all it really does is that it takes the health value of the slider, and it will divide the current value by the max value. So every time the value changes, it goes down a little bit. Uh, no, I don't. Actually, I don't even need this right now. Not anymore. So where there's use the user HUD. Change this some here. We have the U. Actually, no. If I want to go to the damage zone, where I've added the damage zone is where I've added the actual health bar or the health component. And then here we have the health bar, right? Enemy health come here. Same, has max health, has current health, and has the health bar, which is the health bar script. And then going to the user HUD, we have all the stuff here. The main user HUD is screen space overlay. But going into the damage zone, here's what I was looking for. The damage zone already has a canvas, UI canvas on it, and that's world space. It has a canvas scaler health bar. I'm trying to explain everything. So, for enemy health component, there is a section that wants a health bar, or at least a slider component of what we're looking for. Health bar here is a slider component where we have basically added the health bar slider, and we're basically using it now as the health bar. Actually, no, this is the health bar script. And we're just adding the health bar there. We're just, yeah, I understand how it works. It's just hard to explain. But no. Oh yeah, background. We can do a couple of things, but the main idea of the health bar is that it'll basically stay above the meteorite. It won't rotate, and I'll deal with that and tell you how that happened. But we changed the background color so it's a darker red. The fill area is a lighter red, just to make it look interesting. Not that important, but it works. In fact, I'll probably do it better instead of waiting to the end. I can actually show you. So we've got multiple health bars and stuff. We have health bars, and for the bigger one, the health has the current health and max health is set to 3, so it takes 3 shots to kill. Destroys itself. That one destroys itself when you shoot it. This one's been set to 2, so it works. That one's been set to 1. So I think that's health. Or I think that's all that's important to health. What else? There's so much. There's a lot of crap to go over, and I'm trying to upon. Oh yeah. So I guess I can go over the other part of the user of the UI, and we can go over the UI manager and the. I'll do that there. UI manager and the gameplay manager. So the UI manager, we already by the time we were done with class, we already had an update timer, and this basically gets the time remaining of the delta time, or at least it gets the time remaining from the the game manager, which is basically time remaining is here the set is the max time that we set in the game manager. We are basically setting the reset timer on start of the game. And going to update timer, we're going down. We're basically going for the amount of time. We are dividing the time remaining by the max time to see what the changes are. We're then getting a floor of that so we can round it down into a float for displaying the time remaining. For the bottom text, or which is the bottom dot text, which should probably actually just be a timer text. We're basically doing time remaining plus the remaining time. And I added basically changing the font size because it was a bit too big in the middle. But this part here I added as well, and basically checking if the time remaining is less than or equal. Actually, no, less than or equal to 0, and b.timeout equals false. It will go through the debug log. It will do basically type out time.runout into the debug log, and then we'll go to GameManager.instance.loseGame, which will go do the lose game function, and then it will set b time ran out to true. So this doesn't happen all the time. We at least have it happen once. So that's the timer. The only thing else I should probably mention is that for the timer, there used to be like one of the targets as the PNG. But one of the things I did is that I made I spent the time to make a better looking like black stopwatch you probably see in like a race or something. So I thought that was a lot better and it looked there's a lot less goofy and it looked better. That's probably the extra thing I did. Going to update score text, we're basically using text area. We're getting the UI score from the GameManager.Score. Going to the game manager. Where are you? I'm blind. The manager stores the score right here, and that basically just keeps it. The important part though is damage on overlap. Any object that has this has a score amount, where on destroy they will plus equal the score amount to the score, which is then stored in the game manager, which is then stored, which is on update with the store text, which is constantly being updated. We change the UI score to this into the score, and then we display the text. The last part of the UI is the update enemy count. I was having issues with this because I basically wanted to do like enemies 4/4, like basically showing hey, this is the amount of stuff you still have. And then on death, it would change the amount to 0. It would change basically subtract the amount to show you how many enemies there were, how many enemies there are. But I was having issues with actually getting that to work. So instead of that, I ended up just keeping basically tracking how many enemies there were in the game, and it takes a bit to work, but it tracks how many of the damage, the enemy count, which in the game manager is, where are you? Get remaining enemies. Enemy count is basically just the damage zone. Using the damage zone list here, we basically just get the count of the damage zones, and that's the enemy count. And this, of course, in here is pretty much always being run. So in the UI manager, it's constantly being checked. And then this just shows enemies plus the current enemies. The reason I was having issues with it was because on start, I was trying to get the list of all the enemies at the start of the game and basically have two variables, which was starting enemies, which would basically be the enemies at the start, and then the current amount of enemies, which is basically this. But that didn't really work because for some reason the starting enemies was always 0 for a while. And then I got to 3, but that was wrong because there was 4. So I think it was going too fast before loading. But then I decided I didn't need that, so I just cut that off. Oh yeah, notation. This isn't anything. This was for the health. The NoRotation. This is just a small thing that keeps the health not the health bar. Actually the health bar. Let's go to user HUD. HealthBar has a script, or at least the canvas does, NoRotation. And it does exactly what it does. Whenever the meteorite would rotate, like to the left, this would rotate like in a circle or the other way, depending on the rotation of the meteorite. And it was goofy and kind of funny, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I added the rotation to basically make it so that the meteorite could rotate, but this wouldn't rotate with it, and would just basically stay on top, basically stay placed on the top. And I guess I'm rambling, but up here you can see the sprite of a stopwatch here. Let's actually spawn something. You can see that some of the this one and this one are both rotating. And the bars are not rotating, which is good. And we can see that our enemies started at 4. They've been going down as they've been destroyed, and our score here has been increasing. We can also see that if we change the what am I trying to say? The that's an issue. Oh well, but the score amount, all the UI stuff, this works. They change with the screen. And I'm just waiting because I want to show off the game failure. Yeah, like right down here. Time ran out, game failed, blah blah blah. And then probably at this point I should make it so that the game shuts off, but I don't know how to do that yet. Or at least I think I do know how to do that in a build version and probably in the actual version, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, and damage relapse scores there. That's basically everything. I think I've showed off a good amount, everything that needs to be shown. Thank you for watching. Sorry for rambling. I tried to do this as cohesive as I could, and hope you have a good day. Bye. Stop recording. There we go.